Yes, we like the opening credits so much, we thought we'd do them again. Ho ho! Merry Christmas Eve! It is Thursday, the 24th day of December 2020. I am Dan Koontz. I am dreaming of a white Christmas, and tomorrow night, my wishes will come true. Not during the day, but right around sunset, right around 4:30-ish or so. Tomorrow, Christmas Day, gonna see a little bit of snow. Can't wait to give you that forecast. I think everybody wants a white Christmas. I think it's natural. Forecast details are coming up. There's a lot of news to get to on this Christmas Eve when we touch on the news. Break up the Cougars. Man, they're just rolling right along, undefeated, 8-0. We'll talk about the Cougar men's basketball team, preview the Seahawks and the Rams, who will do battle at Lumen Field on Sunday afternoon. Plus, we'll have the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays. The shortest Mike Magnotti opinion ever. If you blink, you're going to miss it. That's coming up. And then we're going to replay the interview I did with my good friend Tom Nees, the executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, who were able to get through this COVID time, holiday time with aplomb. Still challenges. We caught up with Tom earlier in the week. We'll play that for you in the back half of the program. It's chilly. It's only 20 degrees. We're going to have clear skies. It's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be a repeat of yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be cloudy. Again, late tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours. We're looking pretty good for some snow. Weather system's going to come in and pay us a visit. I like it when I can tell you that. Let's go around the valley. Malcolm is pushing the buttons as Megan continues her holiday break. Malcolm, I don't do Christmas Whitehall is his new nickname. Beautiful view from the Wenatchee Valley, from the cross camp. Looks like he's got that zoomed in just a skosh as we look over the valley on this Christmas Eve. We got some Christmas weather from the past slide to show you. I think you're going to enjoy that when we get to that in just a couple minutes. And there you go. That's a beautiful view of, I'm seeing trees, I'm seeing sun, I'm seeing brought to you by Sky-Fi, and I'm seeing the NCAA Life Channel logo on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That is obviously a shot of Philadelphia. I don't know. What are we looking at, Malcolm? That's the Root Canyon camera. Okay, well, that makes sense. I don't think we've ever used that angle before. My guess is he's got that pointed to the southeast to get lit in as much light as possible. It sure is pretty, though. My guess is they still have a little bit of snow up at Root Canyon, just a guess. But it's a higher in elevation. They have a lot of trees, and so a lot of shade, so it keeps the snow around longer. Camera number 3. Oh, beautiful view from Jump Off Ridge. He's got that baby zoomed in as well. The Wenatchee Valley, of course, off into the distance. You can almost actually make out where the cross camera is located at the tip of Wenatchee Heights, the Malaga-Alcoa Highway in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, the mighty Columbia, which is full of water, which will eventually flow into the Pacific Ocean. Nice view there, Malcolm. Good selections this morning. And finally, the Orondo Rock camera. As we look over Lake Antioch, way off in the distance is the Wenatchee Valley. You can see a little bit of Rocky Reach Dam. Traffic seems to be flowing rather smoothly. If you do have travel plans, by the way, on Christmas night, because we are going to get some snow tomorrow night, that could get a little dicey. A heads up on that. 2 slides to show for you. First of all, let's talk about tomorrow night. Yep, we're going to get some snow. It's going to come in. Again, the timeline for the snow tomorrow is basically from around 4 to 4:30. It'll start snowing lightly, and it should snow from about 4 to 4:30 on Christmas Day into the overnight hours on Christmas night. So during the day, just a skiff of snow before the sun goes down. Then we could get anywhere from, I don't know, 2, maybe even 3 inches of snow possible on Friday night into Saturday. So when you get up Saturday morning for Boxing Day, December 26th, you are going to find some snow on the ground. The snow level is going to go right down to 600 feet, and by golly, that's us. Where the Columbia River flows right through the heart of the Wenatchee Valley, where it's just about 600 feet above sea level. So there you go. Snow level will go up, by the way, on Saturday afternoon. So yay, going to have a white Christmas night. Here's you go. I am the ghost of Christmas past. Take a look at Wenatchee. These are statistics from Christmas Day from years past. As you can see, the record snowfall back in if we could go back in time to 1998. First of all, buy stock in Amazon, if you can do that. In the meantime, that was a really, really white Christmas. 8 inches of snow came down on Christmas Day of 1998. I do not remember Christmas of 1948 when it got down to 4 degrees, nor do I remember the record high temperatures on Christmas Day from the 30s and the 50s. I wasn't around then. There wasn't even a glint in my parents' eyes. So let's take a look at the forecast in detail from the National Weather Service. Again, one more day of sunshine. We'll top off at about 31 degrees. What's Malcolm up to? What's he got going on here? Oh, jeez. What is Santa doing? Is Santa punching somebody? Oh, he's throwing us. Okay, Santa's in a snowball fight. Well, okay. Oh, when Malcolm gets creative, I get scared. Again, as far as the timetable for snow on Christmas Day, it's going to be cloudy all day. Not going to see any sunlight on Christmas Day, but starting about 4:30 in the afternoon, that's when we start seeing a little bit of light snow. It'll come down pretty good for a while. Friday night into early Saturday morning, you'll wake up with 2, maybe even 3 inches of snow on the ground. On Saturday, it's going to start melting off. As you can see, we'll top off in the mid-30s. Sunday, partly sunny, 35. Partly sunny, mid-30s on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday could get a little light snow, they tell us, by this time next week, next Thursday and Friday. It's a little too far off into the distance for the computer models to figure that out. But things are looking really good for snow tomorrow night or Christmas night as a weather system rolls into our area. Santa throwing a snowball at whatever that is. Nicely done. Malcolm, I'd like to talk to you as soon as the show is over. To the mountain passes we go, and you're fine. Go get them. Yeah, no problems at all. Live shot of I-90, roadways bare and dry, some ice in places, but you're fine. Clear skies up above, no advisories, no restrictions. Stevens Pass looks pretty good right now. They still have a traction tire advisory on Stevens with some compact snow and ice on the roadway, but they have clear skies up above. There is no snow in the forecast at all for the Cascades today. Blewett is fine. Roadway is bare and dry, clear skies up above on Blewett. And even Stevens, even though they do have the traction tire advisory, doesn't look too bad to me. There is no snow in the forecast today for the mountain passes, nor tonight. On Christmas Day, if we're going to get snow, certainly the passes are going to get snow. They're going to get a couple of inches on Christmas Day. On Christmas night, tomorrow night, we're talking 3 to 5 inches of snow in the Cascades, 1 to 3 inches on Saturday, and then that's going to be it for snow for the mountain passes. So you might want to avoid driving over the Cascades tomorrow night, Christmas night, as they're going to get a pretty good dose of snow, upwards of maybe 5 inches of snow. We're going to have a couple of inches of snow on Friday night. It would be really cool if it was Friday during the day, Christmas Day, but it's going to start coming down right around sunset. So it's the best we can do for a white Christmas. 8 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
CVCH wants to make your winter just a little brighter with their Get Out and Explore gift giveaway. This December and January, visit cvchgetout.com and download fun, safe, and simple activity guides to 4 beautiful towns in our backyard: Wenatchee, Chelan, Cashmere, and Leavenworth. Most activities are free of charge and unique to the community you visit. So get out and explore. Visit cvchgetout.com for details.
Merry Christmas, Wenatchee Valley. Collins is decorated and fully stocked with wonderful gifts. Luxurious cashmere wraps and sweaters, stylish coats to keep you warm, adorable at-home wear from PJ Salvage, socks, fresh popcorn treats, caramels from Boston, natural candles from Bend, Oregon in differing scents, hand-carved soaps, beautiful and amazing lather, scarves, coats, etc., etc., and the largest Brighton assortment of jewelry and handbags in North Central Washington. Ladies, come in and fill out your wish list, and we will wrap it up at Collins in downtown Wenatchee.
Clear and cold. It's 20 degrees outside of our studios. We'll have more sunshine today. We'll top off in the lower 30s. Lots of clouds on Christmas Day. Snow Christmas night in the Saturday morning. At 10 minutes after the hour, here are your headlines. Wenatchee police continue to investigate a homicide. An unidentified man shot and killed at the intersection of King, Delaware, and Idaho streets in Wenatchee. That's in the general vicinity of Chase Park. The shooting happened about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. No suspect has been arrested so far. The police say this morning there is no known danger to the public. The investigation continues. Again, an unidentified man shot and killed in Wenatchee yesterday afternoon about 3 o'clock. We will have more on the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Speaking of Wenatchee police, they've responded to 3 vehicle crashes involving people suspected of driving under the influence. All 3 drivers arrested on DUI charges. Wenatchee Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld says it's an increasing problem.
So here at Wenatchee Police, we just really like to remind people that DUI is, of course, always a bad idea. As a criminal offense, it's also really dangerous. In the last 36 hours, we have had 3 collisions involving DUI drivers. All 3 were arrested for DUI. And thankfully, no significant injuries out of these, but it's not always the case. We've had a large number of DUI collisions over the year, and I've continued to see an increase in DUI arrests every year over recent years. So please, if you're going to drink while you're out and away from your home and need to get somewhere, call Uber, call a cab, Lyft, whatever it is that you can find. Get a ride from somebody sober, but do not drive. It's not worth it.
A Kennewick man was arrested on Tuesday for allegedly firing shots at a convenience store in Ellensburg after he was told to put on a mask while he's inside the store. Ellensburg police say 32-year-old Johnny Stone went into the Astro Express Mart on Canyon Road on Sunday and then refused to put on a mask after being told to do so by an employee. Police say as Stone was leaving, he fired several shots towards the business. Nobody was injured. Ellensburg police obtained a search warrant for Stone's arrest, and they worked with the Kennewick Police Department and arrested him on charges of drive-by shooting and criminal trespassing charges. That happened on Tuesday morning. Police say they recovered a handgun believed to have been used in that shooting. Chelan County has wrestled for years with the issues of vacation rental homes in its unincorporated areas. Now Chelan County commissioners think they may be close to adopting workable regulations in this booming industry. That was the topic of a public hearing on Tuesday. Our very own Jefferson Robbins filed this report.
We've allocated 2 minutes for each person. We would like you to state your name and your address, and then that's when your time will start.
It was 2017 when Chelan County first took up the question of short-term rentals, or STRs, residences that are offered as vacation getaways for less than 1 month. After years of public meetings and feedback from rental owners and opponents, the county this month unveiled its draft ordinance. It would regulate STRs under 3 tiers, with limits on lot sizes, number of guests allowed, and other factors.
I live, work, and vote in Chelan County. This issue is really about what kind of communities we want to have, and in particular, what kind of residential neighborhoods we will have in these communities. The primary purpose of residential areas is to provide both the quantity and quality of housing for our residents. While everyone is entitled to their opinion, I suggest your primary responsibility on an issue like this is to the people who make up our communities, the residents of Chelan County.
And we care deeply about our neighborhood. Right now, the proposed code is the most extreme proposal by any county in the USA. And it is a lose-lose proposition that will cause hundreds of people to lose their businesses and dreams. It will cause deeper community division, and it will result in a costly legal battle.
Short-term property rentals have become a growth industry in the unincorporated areas of the county. And despite so many years waiting for new rules, some STR operators asked commissioners to halt the process until incoming Commissioner Tiffany Gehring can be seated at the start of the new year. The STR Alliance of Chelan County, which represents operators, endorsed Gehring in the November election. But commissioners say they'll hold a workshop Monday and make a final decision Tuesday, December 29th. In the meantime, public comment can still be made by email or correspondence until 5 p.m. this Sunday. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
Thank you, Jefferson, for that report. Though they remain far higher than the health district's goal, COVID-19 rates in Chelan and Douglas counties continue to fall. The Chelan Douglas Health District reported Wednesday that the rate of infection for the 2-county area has fallen to 662 new cases per 100,000 population over the last 2 weeks. A week ago, that rate was 906 per 100,000 residents. The first week of December, the rate topped 1,000 for the first time. Now, new patients are on the decline. New cases, I should say, are on the decline, but the number of patients suffering from COVID-19 at Central Washington Hospital remains high. 35 people currently being treated. 7 of them are on ventilators. That's according to Confluence Health. Of those hospitalized, 17 are from Chelan County and 6 are from Douglas County. Healthcare workers from throughout North Central Washington are featured in a video that was produced by the Chelan Douglas Health District, and it asks people to do their part by masking up, social distancing, and avoiding group gatherings outside of their homes. Take a look.
They've seen and lived the devastating impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. They're our friends, our neighbors, our local healthcare workers. Theirs are the first faces you see when you call for help. From behind the scenes, they keep our clinics and hospitals open and operating. They care for the sick and the dying, and they've held your loved one's hand when you couldn't be at their side. For months now, they have fought through emotional and physical exhaustion to care for us and our loved ones. When this pandemic has brought them close to tears or their work has seemed insurmountable, they shake it off and return to their job the very next day. Please do your part to help them. Wear your mask, social distance, and avoid groups outside your household. Help us to care for you.
Help us take care of you.
Ayúdenos a protegerlo.
Help us care for you.
Ayúdenos a cuidarlo a usted.
Help us to care for you.
Finally, on this Thursday morning for local social service agencies, this has been an especially busy and challenging year. Serve Wenatchee Valley Executive Director Tom Nees told me earlier this week that two of the agency's biggest projects, a massive food distribution at the Town Toyota Center and a special market that operated until this week, showed how they adopted to help those in need in the midst of this pandemic.
We transitioned very early when we closed our office. So we were closed and yet we were open. We were here. We were here throughout the pandemic, and our phone lines would light up, and we would take the information over the phone. We would find out what the need was and refer. We would do all of that from appropriate distance. And so we had both electronic ways of submitting information, and we also had over the phone conversations and as many personal conversations as we could. Now, in the middle of this, we started out by doing the drive-through food bank over at the Town Toyota Center. And so that was a drive-through model, partnered with the Town Toyota Center. I have to shout out the Town Toyota Center at this moment of time, and Mark Miller and the staff over there have been absolutely amazing community partners throughout this season. They have been incredibly generous to be able to take this big empty space and all of the hardship that they have gone through, and yet turn that into an act of generosity to this community has been amazing to me. So I really have to shout that out. So it started there. But then we opened in about August a Fresh Hope Market here. And so we opened essentially a grocery store. And the Fresh Hope Market, we schedule people. So they call if they need food, then we schedule them and meter them so that we've got just one family at a time that comes in and shops and then leaves. We schedule that every 20 to 30 minutes. And so we wiped everything down, in between, and made sure that we're keeping, those kind of protocols secure and safe. But the market gives families the opportunity to shop for what it is. Again, the dignity of shopping for what they want to take home to their families to eat. We also got a donation of some coolers and some freezers. That gives us the opportunity to be able to provide more fresh produce, fresh food, at our food bank than we have been able to in the past. And that has been an amazing gift.
And again, my complete conversation with Tom Nees, the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, will air in the back half of this program. And that's what's making headlines at 19 minutes after the hour. We'll be here for a Christmas Eve edition of the news. Of course, we'll be taking Friday off, as you might imagine. With a preview of some of the stories we're working on, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan, and Merry Christmas Eve. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the Icicle Fund is offering $1,000 grants to COVID-impacted local artists. We'll tell you more about that. It looks like we will see a white Christmas. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will have more from the Seahawks as they prepare to take on the Rams. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Don't forget you can watch the news on your smart device as well. We'll have it up and running via our website and our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock, so you're not locked into those 5, 6, and 10 o'clock times to watch it on television. You can watch it at your own volition. At the bottom of your screen are all the ways you can get a hold of us, or some of the ways anyway. It's all internet-based now. You can email us at the address you see at the bottom of your screen. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a note via Facebook Messenger, or you can go to our website and click on the Contact Us icon. Any of those three will work, and we'll get it right here at the Broadcast Metroplex. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports, talking about the Cougar men's basketball team. They're rolling right along. Preview the Seahawks and the Rams, plus the obscure holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays, a very short opinion from Mike Mignotti, and my conversation with Tom Nees. It's all coming up. You're watching a Christmas Eve edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Experience the difference in Manson at Mountain View Lodge, where you can park and leave your car and your cares behind. Your winter package starts at just $109, featuring treats from the Coffee Cabin at Rio Vista, Wine Girl Wines, and the North Shore Cafe. Call Mountain View Lodge and Resort or book online. Stay the night. Your room is ready.
Celebrate the holidays with your friends and neighbors. Stop by and exchange a warm smile and a holiday greeting with these local businesses.
If your heating or cooling unit needs routine maintenance or an emergency repair, give Climatech a call. The staff at Climatech send your family warmest wishes for this Christmas season.
Fresh dough, real cheese, tasty ingredients, pizza made to order. From their kitchen to your oven, Papa Murphy's Pizza. Order today. Happy holidays from our family to yours.
22 minutes after the hour, sports. The Washington State men's Cougar basketball team undefeated. They're 8-0. They beat Northwestern State last night. The final was 62-52 for the third consecutive game. Freshman Effie Abogidi had a double-double. He had 15 points, 12 rebounds. Coach Kyle Smith happy to get the win before they get the week off.
Good win, because there's no such thing as a not so one. You know what? Let me just first praise Northwestern State for playing 3 games in a row and really competing hard. You know, winning. We didn't shoot the ball well. Back to our defense, they can run up and down the floor, and they scored 61 against Gonzaga in the second half last night, and we were able to guard them. And in the second half, we out-rebounded, but you know, we have got to shoot the ball better and take care of the ball. So there's a lot of room for improvement for us.
Isaac Bonton had 13 points. Miles Warren chipped in 11 to help Wazoo remain undefeated. The Cougars are off now until New Year's Eve. They'll host Arizona State 1 week from today at 1 o'clock. For the first 8.5 games this season, the Seahawks defense was bad. I mean, they were bad. They were allowing an average of 472 yards of offense by the opposing team, 380 yards through the air, 95 on the ground. But since the second half of their game against the Rams back on November 15th, they've turned it all around. Why? Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says, we just decided to get better.
I think at that time, going to the halftime and going to the second half, we had a lot of sudden change situations. And it was one of those moments where you got to decide if you're going to, you're going to handle the storm, you're going to handle all the things that are happening, or you're going to give in to it. And the guys really came together. It was a game that we really felt like that second half, I think they scored maybe 3 points or so, it was one of those moments that the guys really came together, really understood what the plan was. They really played and communicated together. And I think that from that point on, it's been pretty solid.
Over the last 6.5 games, Seattle has allowed an average of 211 fewer yards passing per game. The result, they're 4-2 in those games, and they're, of course, sitting atop the NFC West. A big reason for Seattle's improvement defensively has been the play of Bobby Wagner, our top linebacker. Coach Norton said he remembers telling Bobby Wagner about his first Pro Bowl selection 7 years ago.
We named a couple of them.
Right, speak of the devil right here. Bobby, very special moment. Anytime you go to the Pro Bowl for the first time, it's like the first time you do anything. You know, coming up as a young player, being named amongst the league's best is a really, really big deal. And for us knowing Bobby and scouting him and drafting him and developing him the way we did and how hard he worked and the way he earned it, it was such a special moment for us to call him and to let him know. He didn't believe us at first, but Bobby in his own manner really was humble about it. And as you can tell, he only gets better. Some people become the best, and that's their goal. He wants to become the best of the best. And it's really exciting to see him continue to improve even after, 7 Pro Bowls. It's really exciting to see.
Jen Mueller asked Bobby Wagner about the significance of being selected to his 7th consecutive Pro Bowl.
Well, let's start with that Pro Bowl nod. Congratulations. Given the fact that you have been here so many times, what's significant about that honor for you?
I think every year it brings its different significance. I think, I couldn't have told my rookie year self that I would have, you get 7 out of 9 years. So, I think it just shows consistency. I think it's just cool. It's a lot of great linebackers, in this league right now. So to be one of them, it's always still, amazing.
Seattle will host the Rams on Sunday afternoon for the NFC West Championship at Lumen Field. Of course, they're going to have to do it without the services of Josh Gordon, as you know by now. Coach Pete Carroll is limited to what he can say about the situation other than he's a little disappointed.
Well, we're not able to comment about any of it really other than to say that he's still in the coming in, working out with our trainers and getting his work done conditioning-wise. We'll revisit it again next week. Certainly disappointed not to have him for his sake and for a lot of things, but we'll stay with it and we'll see what happens next week.
Gordon remains on the NFL Commissioner's exemption list for reportedly not fulfilling the terms of his conditional reinstatement. That means he can't practice and he can't play. Carroll said, however, they're keeping him on the 53-man roster. Finally, our sports schedule for the holiday weekend. And it begins with hockey tonight because it's Thursday night as we're going to bring you the Wenatchee Wild's playoff game from last March. At the Town Toyota Center, it's the Wild and the Vipers from Vernon, British Columbia. Arch Ecker with the call at 7 o'clock. Friday, Christmas, and it's our all-day holiday programming. We got the Nutcracker as presented by the Eve Edelweiss Dance Academy. I'm looking forward to that. You can watch it tonight at 11 and then again tomorrow at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Saturday is set aside for high school playoff basketball. Cashmere and Omak for the girls CTL championship at 2 o'clock. At 7 is the Cashmere and Okanagan boys for the CTL title from last February. Eric with the play-by-play in both of those games right here on the NCW Life channel. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Christmas Eve, December 24th, it is National Eggnog Day. Eggnog is one of those binary kind of things. People either love it or they hate it. It's a cocktail. It's eggs, milk, cream, sugar, spices, and a little something else too. Of course, traditionally you add alcohol to eggnog. A lot of it depends on where you live. In the United Kingdom, they spice up their eggnog with either sherry or brandy. Here in the United States, bourbon or whiskey is the most popular addition to the eggnog. So how do you celebrate Eggnog Day? You make eggnog, fresh eggnog. I don't know how to make eggnog, but I used to love eggnog when I was a kid. I kind of weaned myself off of eggnog. And by the way, the term eggnog comes from the Middle English word noggin, which is the wooden mug that you would drink eggnog from. Again, eggnog. Some people love it. Some people can't stand it. Speaking of eggnog, at West Point, you don't get to go home for the holidays. You're stuck there at the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York. And on Christmas Eve, 1826, 194 years ago, here's what happened. A couple of days before Christmas Eve, a bunch of plebes, or whatever they call themselves, who go to West Point, snuck in a big bunch of whiskey to make eggnog for a Christmas Eve party. And, things got a little out of hand as they consumed the eggnog and consumed the eggnog and consumed the eggnog. at the military academy, and eventually they ended up rioting. Too much eggnog, it'll do it to you. About a third of the cadets participated in the Great Eggnog Riot of Christmas Eve, 1826. They investigated, because that's what they do at West Point. 70 cadets were implicated in the Eggnog Riot. 20 of them were court-martialed. Among those who participated in the Eggnog Riot but wasn't disciplined and wasn't court-martialed, Jefferson Davis, who would, of course, eventually become the President of the Confederate States of America. Probably would have been easier if they just let the cadets go home for the holidays. The famous Eggnog Riot. And the Library of Congress burned to the ground on this date on December 24th, 1851. They still don't know to this day what caused it. 169 years ago today, about 35,000 books were destroyed. I think everybody knows the story of Thomas Jefferson, who basically ran out of dough. Old TJ, he had nothing left in the checkbook, so he sold his personal library of thousands of volumes to the Library of Congress. About 2/3 of Jefferson's original donation, well, it wasn't a donation, he sold it. It was also destroyed, the Library of Congress. Not a good day for them. That's why we have sprinkler systems. Birthdays. Howard Hughes, one very rich, very odd duck. If you're poor and you're kind of weird, you're crazy, right? If you're rich and kind of weird, you're eccentric. Howard Hughes was eccentric. On November 24th, 1966, Thanksgiving Day, he moved into Las Vegas, moved into the Desert Inn. The Desert Inn owners didn't want Howard Hughes hanging around, so he said, "Nerds to you, I'll just buy your casino," and he did. The 8th floor became the nerve center of the Howard Hughes empire, the 8th floor of the Desert Inn. The 9th floor became his penthouse, where he lived for his personal residence. And then over the next 2 years, Howard Hughes bought, he bought the Castaways, the New Frontier, the Landmark, the Sands, and the Silver Slipper Casino. And the only reason he bought the Silver Slipper Casino was because they had a giant neon slipper on the roof of the casino, and it blinked into Howard Hughes's private penthouse, and it bugged him. So he bought the casino just to take the slipper down. Howard Hughes, on Christmas Eve, 1905. Going to take a break. If you blink it, you're going to miss it. It's the shortest Mike Magnotti opinion that we've ever aired. It's coming up. And then my conversation with Tom Deese from Sir Wenatchee Valley. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and I'm so full of crap, even I can't believe it sometimes.
Experience the difference in Manson at Mountain View Lodge, where you can park and leave your car and your cares behind. Your winter package starts at just $109, featuring treats from the Coffee Cabin at Rio Vista, Wine Girl Wines, and the North Shore Cafe. Call Mountain View Lodge and Resort or book online. Stay the night. Your room is ready.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah.
There he is. Sure wish he was here.
Yeah, no kidding. Little 4-point. It's a nice kokanee.
Solid fish.
Watch the Northwest Outdoorsman with Richie Herod Saturdays and Sundays at 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 4:30 p.m. on the NCW Life Channel.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this holiday season. It's time to check in once again with Tom Nees, the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. Certainly no stranger to this program. We are at Tom's office here at the intersection of Orondo and the Avenue. Of course, the office itself isn't open and hasn't been for quite some time, but that's not going to stop us to sit down and kind of do a year in review with Tom Nees. And first of all, Tom, thanks for reaching out. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here with you and great to catch up. I've missed sitting down, chatting with you.
I love talking with Tom. You know, I always feel better once I talk to Tom Nees. Let's work backwards as we do the year in review for Serve Wenatchee Valley. Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is in the books. You had your toy distribution event.
We did.
That already came. My understanding is it was phenomenally successful once again.
Yeah, it was very successful. You know, so I'm going to go back on you. You're going backwards. I'm going to go back and say we really made a decision early on in the pandemic that we were going to do whatever we could in any way we can with what we had and to do it safely. And so with that being the case, we were able to do all of our hallmark Serve Wenatchee events throughout the year. They were done very differently. The Glory of Christmas program was done differently. We had a larger space over at the Church of the Nazarene. We moved into that large downstairs multi-purpose room. We created a path, you know, for families to be able to walk through, couldn't go backwards, and we metered the number of families that were in there at any given time. We didn't do food this year. We did gift cards instead. We weren't able to, you know, to do some of the special moment sort of things like sitting around a table with a cup of cocoa with a friend, but that's okay. We were able to provide gifts and toys for almost 370 kids.
Wow.
And so it was.
Is that the most ever for you guys? Or
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, kudos, first of all, to the folks at Les Schwab for putting it together. I've mentioned this before when I talked to Kurt Mosier and the other good folks at Les Schwab. They could have just slapped their name on it and said, we're good with it. But they showed up to every event with their tents and their people, and they volunteered hundreds of hours to help the less fortunate in our area. And they don't have to do it, but they do it.
No, they are anything but passive partners. They are incredibly active, constantly interacting, you know, with us about what the needs are and what the needs we're seeing. Our program is just a little bit different than some of the other ones in that we invite a broader group of the community to participate in this than some of the programs that have kids in their programs already and they know the numbers, right? And so they are willing to work with us to be able to provide, Christmas, and that takes a little bit of give and take, and man, they gave.
So how exactly did the toy distribution work with the 370 some odd kids getting their presents via the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive? Logistically, how did you do that?
So we go and we collected the toys on Monday of last week, and so we picked up the toys, took them over to the church. We set the whole place up. We decorated it. It was somewhat pulled back a little bit from what we normally do, but it was still, and we created an amazing space where the aged toys were all in order. And so if you walked in and you didn't have an infant, you could immediately bypass that and move on to, to some of the toys that were more appropriate for your kids. It's a shopping experience for the families that participate in this program. So they get to go and select the toy that they think would bring their child joy. So
the adults, the parents, they were segregated from the kids, so the kids don't know, or do the kids know? How
the kids don't come.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
We tell them not to bring their children to this event because it's intended to be, from the parents' perspective, we don't want them to go home and say this was provided by someone else. We want that opportunity for the parents to be able to stand up and be, I think it adds dignity to
absolutely
this Christmas experience for them we picked these, toys out for you guys and we're grateful.
And they should be wrapped and under the tree.
Yep.
So the kids can enjoy the holiday season. Who doesn't love sitting underneath the tree on Christmas, whether you do Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, to open your presents. And
so
they're wrapped.
It was good. We did, normally we have a wrapping station where we get to wrap them all up, and so they leave wrapped. We couldn't do that, so we had tape and wrapping paper that they were able to leave with to be able to do that on their own. So it's good.
This has been a challenging year for everybody, Tom, going back into March. Economic hardship, people losing their jobs or at least having their income drastically reduced. There's never been a more important need for Serve Wenatchee Valley than it has been in this year of 2020, and yet you physically were closed. Talk about the challenges of providing the services that Serve Wenatchee Valley does to the people who need your services without actually having to come down and physically see you guys and fill out forms and whatever the case may be. Talk about that.
We transitioned very early when we closed our office. So we were closed and yet we were open. We were here. We were here throughout the pandemic, and our phone lines would light up and we would take the information over the phone. We would find out what the need was and refer. We would do all of that from appropriate distance. And so we had both electronic ways of submitting information, and we also had over the phone conversations and as many personal conversations as we could. Now, in the middle of this, we started out by doing the drive-through food bank over at the Town Toyota Center. And so that was a drive-through model, partnered with the Town Toyota Center. I have to shout out the Town Toyota Center at this moment of time, and Mark Miller and the staff over there have been absolutely amazing community partners throughout this season. They have been incredibly generous to be able to take this big empty space and all of the hardship that they have gone through, and yet turn that into an act of generosity to this community has been amazing to me. So I really have to shout that out. So it started there, but then we opened in about August a Fresh Hope Market here. And so we opened essentially a grocery store. And the Fresh Hope Market, we schedule people, so they call if they need, food, then we schedule them and meter them so that we've got just one family at a time that comes in and shops and then leaves. We schedule that every 20 to 30 minutes. And so we wiped everything down, in between, and made sure that we're keeping, those kind of protocols secure and safe. But the market gives families the opportunity to shop for what it is. Again, the dignity of shopping for what they want to take home to their families to eat. We also got a donation of some coolers and some freezers. That gives us the opportunity to be able to provide more fresh produce, fresh food at our food bank than we have been able to in the past. And that has been an amazing gift. One of the great things that we get every once in a while is our fresh flowers, fresh cut flowers. And we got those donated in. And I can't tell you what that means to someone to be able to deliver to them fresh cut flowers when they come to get a box of food. They came here for food. They left with that, those fresh cut flowers. And what an amazing journey it has been to be able to do that in the midst of COVID.
Looking at those big coolers and big freezers that, again, were completely donated, they look a little bare, though, Tom. Looks like we could fill them up a little bit or a lot.
Well, so right now, as of today, our food distribution is closed. However, just before you walked in, you noticed we took a box of food out to the doorstep because somebody called in and they were just desperate. And so we're still continuing to take calls. Our office is open. We're not running the market. And so our food that we normally would get is going out to other community locations in the community that could use it and distribute that on our behalf. So yes, that's true today. But last week, those coolers and those freezers were full and filling the need in this community.
What do you hear from some of the other good folks who do similar work, the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council, people like that who are helping those folks at this time of the year and year round who are having a tough time making ends meet? How are they holding up during all this?
I think we're, I said that statement earlier. We're doing what we can with what we have. And I really think that is what I'm seeing. And Community Action Council has been just incredible in terms of their distribution, the millions of pounds of food that they've delivered through Chelan and Douglas County, the hundreds and hundreds of families that they've been able to help with rent assistance, and the Salvation Army continuing to step up and being able to help. We're all doing it very different. I can say that, again, with this community and the generosity that this community has, it's amazing what is being supported in terms of the basic needs that we have as a community.
It never ceases to amaze me. And I was born and raised here, and yet I'm still surprised about how generous the people are in the Wenatchee Valley in North Central Washington.
Yep,
that's why I live here.
In the midst of a pandemic.
In the midst of a pandemic. 2021, what's next for Serve Wenatchee Valley is hopefully we start getting on the back end of this curve and things start getting back to normal. I certainly know that you want to be able to see your offices open and have your clients come in for whatever it is that they need to do. What's next for the upcoming year for Tom and the crew?
So we're gonna continue to safely and securely serve the needs of the families as we start. If we can get that curve down below a certain threshold, then we'll start to open up and be able to serve more through the Fresh Hope Market because our volume can increase. We know that the economic impact of this is going to carry on into the second, third quarter, if not all the way through 2021. And so rent assistance is a huge thing. We're going to continue to, to do what we can with meeting that need as well. The other thing that's on the horizon for 2021 is that we, Serve Wenatchee, took the step of forming a project called the Wenatchee Valley Housing Trust. And so we're serving as a fiscal sponsor of that project, and we're rallying community support around that now. We've got both cities, both counties, a lot of folks that are part of our work group that are planning to put together a housing trust to be able to serve the missing gap in our community, the missing housing gap in our community.
And the housing shortage, affordable housing shortage, I should say, is acute. It was there before COVID. Mm-hmm. It's worse now. I mean, this place has become an expensive place to live, even for somebody who's making a living, a basic human living wage. minimum wage, if you will, and they got a couple of kids. It's all they can do to make it month to month.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. But I think we've got a public will to address this. I think it's each of the last 3 election cycles, when asked of someone who is running for office, what are the 3 most important things that we face as a community? Either number 1, excuse me, or number 2 has been housing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't see, as we look at the horizon, that being taken care of. It certainly won't be taken care of if we don't do something. Now, there are things that are being done on the rental side. This is not a fix. This is not the answer, but it's an answer to be able to fill the housing gap. And so that is something that in 2021 is a significant project that we're taking on as an organization to simply guide, but it's up to the entirety of the community to come around and see that. It's very similar to what they are doing currently up in Chelan with the Chelan Valley Housing Trust and creating home ownership opportunities for families that would not otherwise have the opportunity to do that.
Again, we're talking to Tom Nees, Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. That's Tom with an H. And don't you forget about it. Last question, Tom. We'll cut you loose. I know you're busy as we head deeper and deeper into the holiday season. What can my viewers do for you? What can we do to help out Serve Wenatchee Valley? I'll let you have the final word, Tom.
Wow. I would, right now, we've heard over the past several months about a tidal wave coming at the end of 2020 with the eviction moratorium being lifted. And so we know that there is kind of this impending, we're looking out there, and once that eviction moratorium is lifted, then there's going to be a lot of folks, and you can see it in our office over the last 2 weeks. We've got a stack of folks that are reaching out for rent assistance. And so I think the beauty of rent assistance is that it's not just one dimensional. It doesn't just help the family to be able to stay safely home. But the other bigger picture of this is that you've got landlords that have bills that are coming due, whether the rent comes in or not. And so it is helpful to the entire system to be able to provide that rent assistance and get it into the hands of the landlords that have their bills as well. And so it's a win-win. And so that, I would say, just in terms of financially right now, we really need additional support to be able to meet that increasing need of rent assistance as we step into the end of this year and into the beginning of the next.
Tom Nees, Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, who has an open invitation to come on my show whenever he wishes. He actually takes me up on it. We'll have to talk about that some other time, Tom. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and yours, your wife, and the 5 kids and everybody. I hope you have a good and safe holiday, and we'll see you soon. All right, Tom?
Thank you. I look forward to that, and please live in the context of hope.
There you go.
Because it came to pass. It didn't come to stay.
Ooh, I'm writing that down. Don't have a pen. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent at Springwater Insurance Group. And for next year's plans, there's some really special ones coming out. One in particular has no premium to it. 0 premium. That's pretty neat, especially if you're a veteran who has TRICARE or VA or CHAMPS VA, because you can utilize 2 plans at the same time. If you have questions about this and like more information, give us a call at 888-2600.
It's the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event going on now at Pat Armstrong Ford. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Pat Armstrong Ford. Our deals are built for joy. Get 0% APR for 60 months on a 2020 Ford Expedition, plus $22.50 trade assist and 90-day deferred payment. Dash in for deals and save by the sleigh load. Unlock your Merry today at Pat Armstrong Ford. We are community strong in East Wenatchee.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Beautiful sunrise, just starting to creep up over the East Wenatchee bench. The sun came up officially just about 10 minutes ago, 7:47. Sunset tonight, 4:15. That's 8 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. That's where we're at now for this time of the year as we take a look at the Wenatchee Valley. Look at Birch Mountain getting bathed in the sunlight. We're going to repeat basically what we had yesterday. We're going to do it one more time today. Tomorrow, Christmas Day, late in the afternoon into the early evening hours on Christmas evening, we are going to get a little bit of snow. Yeah, isn't that cool? Now, it would be really nice if we could get a little bit of snow coming down to, say, around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The timetable isn't panning out that way, I'm afraid. So we are expecting snow on Christmas Day, but it's not going to start really coming down until after the sun goes down. They say the timeline is going to be about 4:30 on Christmas Day before the snow begins to come down out of the sky. And we can get 2 to maybe even 3 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. We're going to take you back to Ghosts of Christmas Past and some of the records that were set on Christmas Day. And back in 1998, here in little old Wenatchee Town, USA, we did have a white Christmas, a big-time white Christmas. Of course, that was the late 90s, so I don't really remember. We had 8 inches of snow on Christmas Day, 1998, right here in Wenatchee. So we're not going to get anything like that, and it's not going to come down, it doesn't look like, during the day. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. So we're going to have some light snow spreading into the region. Again, tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. Saturday morning, you're going to wake up with some snow on the ground for the first day after Christmas from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at it in detail. And yes, there's Santa Claus once again throwing a snowball at whatever that is. I believe that's Malcolm. I believe that's a cartoon version of Malcolm. Sunshine today, light wind, high of about 31, 22 for the overnight low tonight. It's chilly. It's only 20 right now outside of our studios. Again, Christmas Day, it's going to be cloudy. Not going to see any sunshine. We'll top off at about 30 degrees. And the timeline for the snow, once again, right around 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon, 4:30-ish. That's when they think the snow is going to start coming in. It'll snow on Friday night. Not a big significant snowfall, but enough. 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches of snow, depending on where you live on Friday night. So Saturday morning, you're going to wake up, we hope, to a winter wonderland, so you can play with all of your new toys from Santa. Slight chance of some light snow Saturday morning. It should be tapering off. They say the snow will taper off about 4 a.m., maybe 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. Snow level will be at 600 feet. That's us. And we'll top off at about 35 degrees under cloudy skies on Saturday. Partly sunny Sunday and a high of 35. Partly sunny Monday and a high of 34. Next storm system, they say, will be next Thursday. They're keeping a close eye on the long-term projections for the next snowfall, but we could get some snow on New Year's Eve. I'm just happy to tell you that we are going to have some snow, at least a little bit, on Christmas Day. Again, probably right around sunset, right around 4:15, 4:30 is the timeline as it sits now for when the snow is expected to come down right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Passes are fine. They have a traction tire advisory on Stevens. That's it. Snoqualmie and Blewett is fine. Mostly bare and dry. No advisories, no restrictions, no snow in the forecast today or tonight. Just like the Wenatchee Valley, they're going to get some snow in the mountain passes on Christmas evening and especially overnight Friday night into Saturday. That's it for us. Merry Christmas. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.